Right.
Right, hello everyone, TechFluff TV at 44.com. Here we have Roloff. Roloff, could you please introduce yourself to us and your website and the software?
Oh, yeah, my name is Roloff Temming. I'm from South Africa. My software that I created is called Maltego, and the website is www.paterva.com.
Yeah, could you tell us a bit about what your software does? Because I understand you've been talking a lot about it here. You spent at least half an hour to an hour telling us all about your software and what it does and what it doesn't do and how good it is.
Sure.
What I think what our viewers are really interested in, if you could really simply just explain what it does and what use it is for.
Okay, so it's basically link analysis. So we do data mining and link analysis. Data mining out of the box, Maltego is for open source intelligence. So we look at open sources like web, DNS, PGP, any kind of information that we can get publicly, and then the link analysis part of it hooks this information up in a graph so that we give it visually to the user in order that they can do their own kind of pattern recognition on it.
Yeah. I see it has a lot of implications for social media users, such as people using Twitter and Facebook, and a lot of people, quite a few people in the conference expressed concerns about privacy issues. What do you say about that?
Well, at the end of the day, whatever you put out on the internet, is available to anyone that can see it, unless you put controls in place. And most of the social media sites have, controls in place, which allows you to set the privacy settings.
Do you think privacy is a major issue with social media sites or not?
Yeah, I think it's changing. I think people are getting more and more aware of the fact that they shouldn't put stuff out if they don't want other people to see it. So in a large way, I think it's getting better. I think the other thing that you need to consider, something we spoke about earlier, is that if you're not on these social media sites, then you really open yourself up for impersonation.
So you think it's better to be into social media and have yourself out there than not and try to be anonymous?
Yeah, I think the way to go is to know how the system works and what you can do to keep the information that you want to keep it private, but expose enough so that you don't open yourself up for impersonation.
So the best privacy is no privacy?
No, I wouldn't say that. No, I mean, it's just, the way that I think about it is just don't put stuff on the web that you wouldn't want other people to see. And if you're using social media sites, make sure that you understand what the privacy implications.
How do you see social media moving on the next, maybe, I'm looking in the crystal ball, in the next 5 years, how do you see privacy issues and personal privacy developing?
Sure. It's really not my scene. I mean, I'm not that much into social media, so it's not like I can tell you where social media is going to go in terms of privacy. But I do know that it is a concern for a lot of people. At the end of the day, what you got to keep in mind is the companies that build these social media sites want to get as much of your information as possible because that's their product. Their product is not that much the actual technology that drives the site, but more so the data that gets submitted. So it's kind of a situation where these guys would want to have as much information as they can, because that makes their product worth more.
So your tool is an enabling tool to prevent people siphoning off your personal data?
No, I wouldn't say that. Look, we just do data analysis. If it's looking at social networks, if it's looking at infrastructure, if it's looking at people, companies, what we do is we draw a map of how those things link together. It's not built for social media per se.
Well, what I saw was pretty amazing today.
Well, I guess if you have the right rights on stuff and you have the right pieces of software, then you can do some interesting stuff.
Yeah, very interesting. Thanks again. And your website address is?
Paterva.com. That's Paterva.com.
Thank you.